Definitely recording it.
Yeah.
We're going to do smash. Okay, so we're going to look at the smash, pass, side smash. But I want to cover off some of the concepts underlying it. We looked at 45 degree principle yesterday and being in range and out of range. And there's a special case, one of the special cases for controlling with the 45 when we look to use the side smash. Okay, so the two main components of the 45, as we mentioned yesterday, were create an anchor point. Okay, so we've got control boxes we're looking to work within. We create an anchor point on the bottom corner of the control box, and because we're going bottom up, we know that we need to prevent rotation of the next joint up. Okay, so in the close range it's the shoulders. Yeah, so if I'm pinning the hip, I need to make sure the shoulders can't turn. Okay, so that's essentially 45. Anchor point, apply the 45. Now one position which kind of breaks that rule, or it needs a special case, is when we use the smash pass, okay, the side smash. So with the side smash, okay, we are positioning our body down towards the knee, okay, and we're looking to apply the 45 at the shoulders. Okay, so as we mentioned yesterday when we talked about being in range and out of range, we're actually going out of the control box that we should be controlling in. Okay, so we're going past the hips and we're going straight to the shoulders. Okay, but there's a reason why we can do that. Okay, so it's a different form of anchor. Okay, so when I stack the knees on top of each other and the hips are stacked on top of each other, they become single points. Okay, so when we talked about control boxes, when the knees are together and the hips are together, they become single points. So they then form the bottom part of the control box. Yeah, so then if I wanted to draw the control box, connect all the points together, I'd have 1 point for the hips, 1 point for the knees, 1 point for the shoulder, and 1 point for the other shoulder. Okay, so I can create this box seemingly going across the hip line. Okay, so with that in mind, that tells me where I need to position my body for control. Okay, so slide back a bit probably. So when the knees are together, I need to make sure my weight, my hip is pressuring on the knee, and then my body should be positioned as such so it stops the shoulders from turning into me. Okay, so I'm going to be here. Okay, I'm going hip on top of both knees. Okay, so I'm applying pressure to the tethered anchor and I prevent the shoulders from rotating. Okay, so really important. And when I have this mermaid position where the knees together, the hips together, my hip being on top of the knees is the focus of my pressure with my hips, and that allows me to attack the shoulders. Okay, so we did this in the last key session as well. We looked at the smash and we just looked at the pin. Okay, so we're going to pressure test today, and one thing will happen which changes the situation where you have to consider where you're applying the anchor point. Okay, so when the knees are together and the hips are on top, we know that they're single points, and we've got the bottom part of the box as is, and we can apply the anchor point here. But when the knees split, okay, so the knees are no longer a single point, we have to take our anchor point off of the knee, okay, because then we will be out of range and this will be a difficult position to control. Okay, so as an example, I'm here controlling at the knee, Johan splits his legs. Okay, I've now lost the connection and the control I need to be effective with the smash. Okay, what has happened though when the legs are split is an opportunity has been created to re-establish a more normal 45, where I'm in range because I'm at the hips and I'm applying pressure at the shoulder. Okay, so when the knees split, I take my focus off having my hip on top of the knees, and I use my knee to control the bottom hip. Okay, Johan's bottom hip. So the knees are together, I'm applying pressure, the knees split, I travel over, spin around a bit, I travel over the training leg, and my focus now is to create an anchor point on that bottom hip. Yeah, so I'm looking to connect my knee to that bottom hip, and now it's fine for me to apply pressure to the shoulders to prevent rotation. Okay, so it's actually a better place to control from because it's more secure and it's a more traditional close range control with the 45. Okay, so once my knee is gone there, then the pass will kind of present itself. I just make sure that I keep applying pressure to this bottom leg, and then I can rinse his top part of his body open to transition to the mount. Okay, so we're here, I apply pressure to that bottom leg, I'm like pushing it away from me, I'm pushing his shoulders away. This takes away the flexibility of this leg. Yeah, so if you try and reach your leg up higher, like try and reach it up high, see how far it can travel. If I take away my pressure from that bottom leg, so he's got his knee back, this will have more flexibility in it. Okay, so I push it away and it shortens the flexibility, push the shoulders away, and then I can slide in to take the mounted position. Does that make sense? So can we see the difference between the two anchor points? It's important to understand because it will change. Okay? When you apply the smash when the knees are together, to keep them together, you're always looking to scoop the knees up to keep everything in place. Okay? Your partner will have different ways in which they'll want to undo it. One way is they'll split this way, which means they're going to be able to bridge into you and you can surf around to the other side. The other way is they'll split this way. Yeah, or you can force the split. Now, if you try and keep the pressure here, they'll essentially just turtle on you and you lose the position. Yeah, because they've got ability to move. So you have to reapply the pressure to the bottom hip, and then we can keep the shoulders flat. Does everyone understand? So what I want us to do for the first part of the session is practice the transition between the two. Yeah, so you're going to go to the smash like we did in the last class when we did this. Yeah, and work on that pin. And then your partner's going to change the position by splitting their legs that way. And then we're going to get used to traveling over the top of that bottom leg and reconnecting to the bottom hip. So we re-establish an anchor point. Okay, and then re-establish the pin. Okay, we don't have to worry about the pass just yet. Just get used to the pin and how the dynamics change when the legs change. Cool? Okay, let's go.